Welcome to Indie Film Screenings. I'm your host, Stefan J. Davis.
And I'm Jerome Lee Brown.
That is correct.
That's what they tell me.
Supposedly this is Jerome. Might be a clone, who knows?
No, this is the original deal. Name like that, nobody else wants it.
Welcome to Indie Film Screenings. We have another great episode for you, another great movie for you guys to check out. This one is called The Golden Picture. And
what a gem it is. Well, we're not here to poke fun or make rude suggesting remarks. That just goes along with anybody and everybody's film. But sometimes we do get a challenging film to judge, and we like to take challenging films to screen, because it's kind of hard to say something positive about the filmmaker when it's just so jacked up from beginning to end. And we try not to screen these films because they are so jacked up, and we just don't know what to do with them. We don't want to embarrass anybody, and we don't want to deter people from not sending stuff to us.
Yeah.
But this particular film,
we're not saying this film is that what we're describing, but sometimes films.
It's not.
Sometimes films aren't the greatest, but really more so it's about learning and a chance for all of us as filmmakers and as movie goers and movie buffs and things to get a chance to really see. Critique, really understand what we could do a little bit better next time. So it's not a judgment or criticizing. It's more so a review. Here's what we like. Here's what we didn't like so much. Maybe if you do this instead, it might improve the next film. And at the end of the day, that's all we really want to do is just improve and get better, become the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be.
Definitely. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the film. I took some notes of the film, but there were so many things to look at and review and talk about.
It's very thorough of you.
Yeah. Well,
like back in school, there like a college professor.
First of all, let's start with the.
Kind of do have that like college professor's look going a little bit with the.
It get a little cold in the studio here. We didn't pay the electrical bill, the light bill, so gas bill. So
it's a nice sweater though. I like that.
I like your shirt too. You know,
thank
maybe
you. Oh well, speaking of this here.
Yeah. Speaking of this shirt, where did you get this shirt from?
Well, what happened is it says keep your thoughts positive. If you can read that. What it's all about is that every month there's someone's featured, somebody that's doing some positive things in the community, no matter where they might live at in the world, because she travels extra all over the country and promotes people. And so here in Cleveland, I got a chance to work with them. It's called P-A-T-Y-L, Patel.com. Pay attention to your life. And it's all about positivity and different things like that. So my June month is all about keeping your thoughts positive. So you can actually go to their website.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, P-A-T-Y-L, Patel.com.
Are you going to have that going across the screen on the bottom?
We could do that. The editor, maybe. Hey, editor, where's he at?
Well, we'll have this going across the screen on the bottom of here. Maybe somewhere along this line here.
Yeah.
He has to do it now since I did that symbol there.
Yeah, all the month of June. Yeah, make sure you look at that and you click that. Go to that website. You can purchase the same exact shirt, so you can be just as cool as me for the month, for that little bit of time while you wear it. And you support us as filmmakers. You support their company, their organization, all the great things they're doing. And yeah, just go ahead and do it.
Thank you. Welcome to Stefan's fashionable network of promotion T-shirts. I forgot what we was talking about. Oh, yes. That is a good cause. I do like that. That is a nice cause, and I hope to get a T-shirt in the mail.
Yeah, pick up a few of them, actually. They're not too expensive. You can afford it. Big baller there.
Good. That's a good.
Get you about 10 of them.
Well, we'll see what we get.
Make them some Christmas gifts.
Yeah, I will pass them out for Christmas gift if I get 10 of them. Golden Picture was a independent film done by a film artist who I'm not sure if he's been doing films for a while or he's just starting off. Doesn't really matter too much. But I kind of got a little lost.
He's up and coming.
Up and coming film artist. I got a little lost in where they was going with the film. You know, a little bit lost where they was going with the film.
Yeah, in all honesty, it was. It really wasn't much of a story there, to be honest. So, not to bash or anything like that, but I think what happened with this story was, for one, I think everything was ad-libbed. I don't believe there was any written dialogue, like actual script.
I will agree with you on that. I think a lot of...
That's the way it came off, at least.
2 lines or script and 99% of it was ad-libbed.
So I think, like, if this is just me guessing, but I feel like it was like an idea. Like, he was like, I had this idea, let's make this movie about this. And that was it, really. And they just kind of went from there and winged it. But no, kudos. I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, I commend him because what they did do was he took the time to actually grab a camera, do some shooting, get some great shots. Well, get some shots, and then take the time to actually edit it all together and put it out there for the public to see. So I mean,
yeah, he did a great job with promoting it and getting it out there. I felt there was way too much talking, standing around talking.
It was.
And that goes along with the ad-libbing thing you was telling me about.
It was.
I thought the whole, what was the 32 minutes of the film, something like that?
Yeah.
Could have been cut down to probably 10 minutes. Easily cut out all the extra talking.
Yeah.
One of the things about when you're making a film outdoors is make sure you have a wind guard on it, because there was a lot of wind blowing inside the microphone, and that kind of helps cut down on the wind.
Yeah. So how's that with the talent, man? Okay. You make sure she's safe and sound and everything like that. All right. Yeah.
If you have to put a wind guard or a wind blocker on it, of some nature, make sure you have that when you are outside working. And if it's really windy, obviously you can't film outside.
Yeah, windscreen can't do so much, really. Yeah, if it's just a blizzard out there, a tornado or a thunderstorm or something, hurricane, probably just have to forget about it that day.
But there was a lot of wind blowing inside the microphone, which knocked out everybody's voice, and you couldn't quite hear what was going on.
So as far as your dialogue, like too much sitting and talking, I agree. And I think what happened was, it was just, for one, like you say, they were just kind of going with the flow, just letting just kind of unfold, I guess, really. But if you do that, though, what you also might want to do is get different angles, kind of break it up through angles and things like that, have different shots. And so that the pacing, because of that factor, was really kind of dragging on, because they just talked and just the story really wasn't going anywhere, and their dialogue wasn't going anywhere. So one thing that's really important with story and with script, it's not the same as just having a conversation. Like, you just sitting here talking, it doesn't have to go anywhere necessarily. But when you do a movie and you have a script and a story, everything, every scene, every conversation has to be taking you on this journey to get you to that point where you go from a beginning of a story to the end of a story. And that just kind of just was like...
I'm trying to keep these this figure for the walking one way.
You gotta work out. Yeah, balance, girl.
I don't want to eat more than I work out now. Cause then I'm gonna put on the weight and freaking work it back off. I can't. I really can't.
We're just all over the place, really.
Well, yeah, and I will agree with you on that one too. But there was a lot of, goes along with what you were just saying. There was a lot of one camera shot on one person talking. There was not too much panning back and forth, and there was hardly any editing going back and forth.
There wasn't a lot of cuts to different shots.
That's about it. And that goes along with what you was just talking about. And I will say that something needs to be worked on as far as the director and editing of the project, so you get a better idea of what the story is about. Yeah,
it just makes it go along a little more quicker. Like, it doesn't seem like it's just them just sitting there talking. If you at least have a different angle, close up, wide shot, medium shot.
Oh, you probably can eat all you can eat and still be teeny.
Okay, I hope so, cause metabolism. Yeah, watching American Got Talent, they starting to do different things, and then what is that? Top models. Oh my gosh, everybody's doing different things on TV I'm watching, so it makes me think I can do a variety of things and look either shape and still be the model. So
that's true. Everything surgery.
And adding pretty girls into your film doesn't necessarily always help your film.
I made a note about that myself too, and so. I saw the storyline. He said it was about 3 models. They did this, that, whatever. I saw 3 models. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm interested. So I like that. That's one thing I had to give them, is that 3 models. Right there, you got some people might want to look at.
That's going to help the view.
At the end of the day, I mean, we all know that sex sells, right? So I mean,
does it really?
Now they were okay.
They were.
But I think the more and more attractive they are, these 3 models you grab and put into the movie, the more views and the more people are gonna watch it, though. So
what I had when I had a problem with the film, one of the problems I had was there was no credit, no titles, nothing. The movie just start off with the lady in the bedroom on the bed, I think it was. Could have been a hotel of that nature. I
think it was.
She just started off on a cell phone, and that went on for God knows how long. Just talk. And we didn't know who she was talking to. We didn't know what was going on. I couldn't follow the story. And the sad thing about all of this, it didn't really need to be in a film. 6 minutes of talking on her cell phone laying in the bed. So that scene could have been cut down to probably 1 minute.
Although we want to start out with some sex sales, though, so she's in the bed on the phone talking.
There was nothing to this to even remotely give you the impression that this.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to help him out a little bit, because like, speaking of the bed and the sex and blah blah blah. Now, one thing he did do, I don't think it was deliberately. I think they were just kind of reaching for locations, and I understand how that is as a filmmaker. It's tough sometimes getting locations, but having a bed and girls, and once again, sex sells, and so she's in the bed, and then they actually go to that same room and bed or whatever it is, and have these contract negotiations and things. So it was like they're constantly in like a bedroom setting. maybe not deliberately because that's all they were able to get a hold of, but it was funny to me, you know, when I think about subliminally how, you know, you got two girls in there chatting with the guy about this contract for modeling and stuff, and then I think at one point it was the bodyguard was there with the other two girls, and he said he's gonna go get some snacks or something. So,
well, I'm sure he appreciates you trying to save that scene, but no, it was just drawn out too much. It was just way too much drawn out, and it didn't really, in my opinion, didn't really need to be that dragged out on the conversation.
All the scenes could have been so much shorter at the end of the day. Yeah, they just said the same thing over and over again too a lot. I mean, honestly, you know. 30 minutes, they probably said the same thing half of that time, though. For 15 minutes, it was like the same thing being said all those times. So,
I will say some good things now. Some good things, and not that same thing really bad, but we all have to learn and get tips from, you know, people who's been there before and done it. Some good things about the film. He had a nice casting crew. The people were really great. I got the impression they were all just starting off acting, which is fine. The lighting was not that bad. The lighting was pretty good. Looked like he used a lot of natural light, indoors and outdoors, and maybe one light, you know, and so forth. And he had an idea what he wanted to do. The only problem was his production and his technical and his setup, the way things were set up. The film seemed to be a little more on the not trying to achieve what he wanted to do on that level.
Yeah, and natural lighting is always great too. So between not having enough time and not having the locations, I mean, when you're out there in nature, you know, you make it happen, and that's really cool. But I could tell there was a lot of stretching, to try to make things seem as if they were supposed to be, you know, what they were. Because I mean, she's outside on the phone and talking to the bodyguard, then he's outside and he's talking to the bodyguard, I guess, on the phone. And it was a lot of talking, a lot of phones, a lot of outside.
And a shady agency.
Yeah, and I guess they're shady agency. I don't know if they were shady for sure or not. I couldn't even tell at some point, but it was a lot of talking, man.
No, bodyguard. I mean, to be real with you, you know, it's just a lesson.
Make sure you actually name your characters, because I noticed he was on the phone at one point outside by the lake and all that, and he was having a conversation with the bodyguard, and he called him, hey, you know, bodyguard, blah, blah, blah. So instead of having a name, he just called him bodyguard. Something like, let's just call him John or Bob or Rick or something. Or anything,
Jerk.
And then through the conversation, we'll understand that you're talking to the bodyguard. Don't just let his name be bodyguard. You know? So that's a tip just for people.
Name your characters as you go along.
Any name is fine as long as they have a name.
And I think we pretty much covered everything, the basis of this.
Now I will say, there was one particular shot I liked through the transitions. Like every time they would do some stuff, they have like a little transition, and there was a shot that was like outside with some cars or something driving, and it looked really good. So,
oh, really? Okay. I don't recall. I've probably seen it, but don't recall what
it was fast. Yeah, it was just like a quick transition from one scene to the next.
I will say the editing was good. The editing was not too bad. I know you probably know more about editing than most. You do a lot of editing. Yeah. But I thought the editing, it didn't seem choppy. It didn't seem like slammed together. It didn't seem like pieces were missing. There was one or two editing flaws I did notice, but nothing major. You know,
I mean,
some of the best films got some editing flaws.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it wasn't perfect editing, but like you said, it was decent though. It was okay. It wasn't horrible. People weren't like cut off in mid-sentence and things like that, so that was always good. But you know, I mean, I think it was one of his first films for sure, I would say. And you know, you just get better with practice. You know, I would say some of those things we mentioned would be important. Just make sure you have a really solid script that you can, you know, have the people actually deliver the lines, so you're not just kind of just talking to each other and just saying the same things over and over again. You know, make sure you get different angles. You know, things like that. Really, just to
that always helps a little bit on that. Well, so wrapping that particular film up all together, I thought it was interesting. Thank you very much for sending it.
Make sure I don't have any more notes here. I don't think.
Yeah, you got any more notes? But the name of the film was called Golden Pictures. It was directed by Jonathan and DeAndre. Forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. And it's by a production called Young National Production.
Yep, that's correct.
Thank you guys for sending that in to us and contacting us about that.
Yes, great job. Keep it up.